Steven Gerrard surprises Messi and the Argentina national team after their defeat in the grand final. He tears into Spain and openly supports Leo. Wait until you hear what he had to say. But before we begin, if you're a true fan who supports the Argentina national team and Lionel Messi, make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel. Yes, friends, it was a heartbreaking defeat that shattered the hearts of millions around the world. A sad and tearful farewell for football genius Lionel Messi in his final World Cup after a fierce battle, where La Scalonita went down fighting. As if the pain of defeat wasn't enough, the provocations from Spain's players and their lack of respect sparked massive controversy, forcing some of football's greatest legends to finally break their silence. It all began when football legend Steven Gerrard made his first public appearance following Argentina's loss to Spain, delivering explosive statements that were immediately picked up by the media. The presenter asked him directly, "Steven, how did you see Argentina's tactical collapse in extra time? Do you think Spain deserved the title?" Gerrard's response was surprising and extremely fair to Argentina. He said the result did not reflect what actually happened on the pitch, and that Argentina played with tremendous courage and bravery despite the sending-off at such a crucial moment. The presenter then pushed further and asked, "Don't you think the end of Messi's era was inevitable since he could no longer compete with the youth of La Roja?" At that moment, the Anfield legend immediately came to Messi's defense, stating that Leo had played an incredible World Cup at 39 years old, and that if he appeared isolated in the final, it was because of the injuries in Argentina's defense and midfield, not because he lacked quality or technical ability. Gerrard added that Spain may have won the trophy, but they lost the respect of the football world because of the childish and provocative behavior displayed by several of their players after the final whistle. He reminded everyone that football is about respect before lifting golden trophies. He concluded by saying that history would give this Argentine generation the recognition it deserves because they fought until the very last second, and that Messi's tears are a source of pride for every supporter, while Spain's excessive celebrations only revealed their immaturity. The presenter continued with the exclusive interview, and that was when Steven dropped the biggest bombshell of the day. The host asked curiously, "Steven, as an icon of European football, what did you feel when you saw Messi crying after the final?" Gerrard left everyone speechless with an answer full of support. "I was cheering for the Argentina national team in this final because of my children. At home, everyone was wearing Argentina jerseys and supporting Leo." The presenter then insisted, "How can you support your rival when you're such an icon of European football?" Gerrard answered with complete confidence, explaining that football rivalries are forgotten when it comes to family, and that his children's dream of seeing Argentina become champions made him support the Albiceleste with all his heart. He added that he completely understands the enormous pressure Messi was carrying, and seeing a player of his greatness say goodbye in such a way creates empathy in any true athlete. He also said that Argentine fans should walk with their heads held high because their team battled for more than 120 minutes against all odds. And although football turned its back on Messi in the end, it will never erase his eternal legacy, which will live forever in people's hearts. But the English legend didn't stop there. He went on to reveal another reason behind his unwavering support for La Scalonita. The host asked, "Was your family's love for Argentina the only reason you supported them, or was there another score to settle in football?" Gerrard answered without holding anything back, "I also wanted Argentina to beat Spain to avenge British football." The presenter then tried to stir up controversy and asked, "Does Spain's attitude in the previous round still bother you enough to make you want them to lose the final?" Gerrard shut the question down immediately, saying, "I know very well that there were provocations from the Spanish players because I faced them for many years. We experienced their over-the-top attitudes ourselves. They don't respect their opponents on the pitch." He went on to explain that Spain has a style built on arrogance and an inflated sense of superiority whenever they take the lead, something he personally experienced. That was why he wanted Argentina's fighting spirit to shatter that Spanish ego. He added that what Spain did to Argentina and Messi after the final whistle did not surprise him because, in his view, it is part of the arrogance shown by this new generation of La Roja, a team that does not know how to treat great opponents with respect. He emphasized that Argentina played with honor, while Spain played with dirty tactics. The interview became even more intense when Steven continued his direct criticism toward specific names who, in his opinion, stained the final. The presenter asked about the altercations after the match. "Steven, we saw very heated confrontations between Paredes and Gavi after the game. Based on your experience, who was at fault?" Gerrard answered without the slightest hesitation. "The gestures made by some young players like Gavi are childish attitudes that do not belong to a world champion." The presenter then offered the opposing viewpoint. "But in Spain, they say the Argentinians started the rough play and the hard tackles throughout the entire match. Isn't that true?" Gerrard responded firmly. "There is a huge difference between physically fighting for the ball and insulting people or making humiliating gestures after winning." He explained that the Argentine players exploded because they had been under enormous psychological pressure and had endured mockery from Spain's bench throughout extra time. According to him, the reactions of Paredes and Molina were simply natural impulses to defend the pride of their country and their captain, Messi. Gerrard pointed out that this Spanish team, despite its technical talent, urgently needs lessons in humility because winning tournaments does not give anyone the right to mock legends who have given football far more than these young players are ever likely to contribute throughout their careers. He concluded by saying that Spain's attitude tarnished their achievement and that the world witnessed Messi's class as he greeted everyone with respect, while the Spanish players danced in celebration with clear provocation in front of their defeated opponents. In a historic moment that demonstrated the respect shared among football legends, Gerrard shifted his focus to giving credit to his rival. The presenter asked him, based on the statistics, "Steven, the numbers show that Argentina didn't register a single shot on target during the entire final. Doesn't that prove Messi failed as the leader of the attack?" Gerrard answered with a brilliant technical analysis. "Blaming Messi for the lack of shots is complete analytical nonsense. Leo was marked by 3 players the entire match and never received any real support from behind." The presenter followed up. "So you're saying Messi's physical exhaustion was justified because of the pressure applied by Spain's younger players?" Gerrard immediately came to Leo's defense. At 39 years old, Messi played the full 120 minutes while pressing all over the pitch. Any other player at that age would have asked to be substituted before halftime. He added that Spain's coach built the entire tactical plan around suffocating Messi with constant tactical fouls, without the referee ever setting a limit, proving just how afraid they still were of Messi even at the very end of his career. The English legend made it clear to the presenter that finishing his final World Cup without lifting the trophy takes absolutely nothing away from Messi's greatness, because everyone knows exactly who Messi is and everything he has accomplished. History will not remember only the man who lifted the trophy. It will also remember the man who turned football into an art form. And Messi is the greatest at doing exactly that. No young, provocative player from Spain will ever come close to achieving even half of his glory. Steven emphasized that an athlete's legacy is not measured simply by the outcome of one difficult afternoon, but by the consistency and global impact he has maintained for more than 2 decades at the highest level of professional football. He explained that opposing defenses still design entire systems around double and even triple marking Messi just to contain his vision and creativity, which naturally creates space that his teammates are expected to take advantage of. For Gerrard, watching a veteran footballer shoulder such enormous tactical responsibility under those difficult circumstances is proof of a level of greatness that very few athletes in history have ever managed to demonstrate. The former England captain stressed that future generations of footballers should study Lionel Messi's career not only because of his World Cup title or his Ballon d'Or awards, but also because of the dignity and professionalism with which he has always represented the sport, both on and off the pitch. He pointed out that moments of adversity are what truly define an athlete's character, and that Messi's behavior after the final whistle was a perfect example of sportsmanship, standing in sharp contrast to the immature reactions displayed by the opposing team. Gerrard concluded his analysis by saying that the respect earned from fellow professionals and football fans around the world is a trophy far more valuable and far more lasting than any medal awarded in a short tournament. The presenter then asked one final question. "Steven, after everything you've said today, do you believe football has been unfair to Lionel Messi?" Gerrard replied without hesitation. "Absolutely. Football can be incredibly cruel. Sometimes the best player doesn't finish with the trophy. That's happened throughout history, and it doesn't change who Messi is. He continued by saying that no final can erase everything Messi has accomplished throughout his career. People have short memories, but football history doesn't. Years from now, children will still watch Messi's videos, study his style, and dream of playing like him. That is true greatness. The presenter nodded and asked, "So, in your opinion, what should Argentina take away from this defeat?" Gerrard answered calmly, "They should take pride. Pride in the way they fought, pride in the way they represented their country, and pride in having a captain like Lionel Messi." He added that defeats eventually become part of football history, but dignity remains forever. Argentina may have lost the final, but they never lost their identity. According to Gerrard, that is something no opponent can ever take away. He also stated that every football fan, regardless of nationality, should recognize the incredible effort Argentina displayed throughout the tournament, and especially in the final, where they continued fighting despite every setback they faced. Gerrard insisted that this generation of Argentine players has absolutely nothing to be ashamed of because they fought until the very last minute and never stopped believing, even when everything seemed to be against them. He emphasized that football is filled with unforgettable victories, but also with honorable defeats that become part of a nation's identity. According to the English legend, Argentina's performance throughout the tournament deserves admiration rather than criticism. He also pointed out that Lionel Messi's influence goes far beyond trophies and statistics. For Gerrard, Messi has inspired millions of children around the world to fall in love with football through his humility, dedication, and extraordinary talent. He explained that very few athletes have been able to remain at the top for such a long period while consistently carrying the expectations of an entire nation. That, in his opinion, is one of the greatest achievements any footballer can accomplish. The former England captain concluded by saying that future generations will remember Messi not because of one final result, but because of everything he gave to the game throughout his remarkable career. He reiterated that football legends are remembered for their greatness over time, not for a single match. According to Gerrard, the respect Messi has earned from teammates, opponents, coaches, and supporters across the globe speaks louder than any medal or trophy. He finished by saying that football will always owe Lionel Messi a standing ovation for everything he has contributed to the sport. And finally, friends, leave your opinions in the comments below. What do you think about these remarkable statements from Steven Gerrard and his historic support for Lionel Messi? Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss the latest football news and exclusive updates. We'll see you in the next video with more detailed information and in-depth analysis from the world of football.